Fierce fighting continues in the Kharkiv region. Settlements near Barvinkove are constantly shelled by the Russian army with heavy artillery and by aerial bombs. The consequences of heavy fighting are visible in the Izium direction. The bodies of killed Russian servicemen are everywhere.
There are Buryats lying around, paratroopers, everyone. We didn't count them.
Nearby is wrecked Russian equipment, an armored combat vehicle and an armored reconnaissance and patrol vehicle.
About a month ago, the Russians tried to attack the settlement. You can see the result of their assault. Then there were our colleagues from the brigade. They gave the proper response, so the settlement is ours, and their equipment is also. A living force fertilizes our land.
The Russian army is not hurrying to take away its killed soldiers. The Ukrainian military is trying to bury the Russians so that the bodies do not remain on roads and in plantations.
Now the line is slightly moving. From time to time they try to pull up the spots, but fortunately they don't succeed.
The Russians try to seize this village because of the high intensity of the hostilities. Not a single unbroken house was left on the streets, and the locals had to leave.
They use mortars, grenades and artillery, in other words, all kinds of weapons, and sometimes even aircraft. There are airborne assault troops, marines and, according to some reports, Chechens are also there. But that doesn't hurt our mood and spirit. We give them a good fight, as it should be from our side, like real Cossacks.
Igor joined the army to defend his homeland from the Russian invasion in the early days. Before the war, he worked as a steel worker.
I was on a business trip to Azovstal even on February 18th. Some of my colleagues are still there. I have no information about them. For all this, there is revenge, and God will punish the Russians. It's ours. Our artillery works.
The current war in Ukraine is largely an artillery battle.
Attacks like before, when standing up and the whole platoon ran to attack the enemy with submachine guns, there is nothing like that now. We squeeze them out slowly, liberate our places, liberate our villages with minimal losses. Of course, there are no war without losses, but losses are minimal thanks to proper tactics and competent command.
This footage shows the Ukrainian Armed Forces downing an elite Russian helicopter Ka-52 Alligator, which cost $16 million. Previously, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported about 2 Russian helicopters in the Izium direction. Yesterday, their number was reduced to 1. 2 helicopters were down with the regular Igla man-portable air-to-service missile system, which every position has. 2 helicopters entered, the first was not hit, and the second missile managed to down it. It fell somewhere in the gray zone or on occupied territory. The Russians are shelling Ukrainian positions using alligators. They are throwing these rockets into positions that they resemble Grad a little bit, like bursting tubes. But even under the fire from Grad multiple launch rocket systems, tanks and mortars, the Ukrainian military understand that victory will be ours.
Even though they may be more in number of personnel, in material provision, but the truth is behind us. God is behind us. Everything will be Ukraine. We will defeat them.
Reported by Ksenia Buhay, Anastasia Zhuk, UATV News.